Triple Shot Mindset.
So guys, it's Friday. We're
Is
here. Yeah. And Artie has a story for us.
I have a story for you.
You have a story for us.
Huh. Okay, well, I feel like if you're going to be a good friend, you have to be direct.
Yes. Why,
Right.
though?
Why not? Because you have all these enablers around you who are vibrating in the same cesspool of crap that you've been taught all these years. That you're the princess, that you're this, that you're that there's nothing wrong with you. And at one point, you're going to realize that those people are just leeching off of you and your money. And they won't tell you the direct truth to get you to actually come out of that cesspool and create yourself as a new, better version of yourself.
Wow.
Yeah.
Sounds like somebody we know.
Yes. Actually, as you were talking, I just realized that I can tell a story about this too, without naming names.
Really?
Yes. Not yesterday.
Oh, another day.
Another
in
day.
March,
Another friend. No, like November.
November.
When there was a conversation that went direct.
Mm.
And although it did sever relational ties, I think I'm catching your...
So do you think you have to be direct in order to be a good friend?
Yes.
Direct to be a good boss?
Yes.
Direct to be a good
Lover.
salesperson?
Yes.
May I interject?
Yes.
You don't have to be direct. You have to be honest.
Ooh. What's the diffy?
One comes across as rude. One comes across as helpful and caring.
Got it. So the approach matters.
Absolutely.
I agree with that 1,000%.
What do you do if you're a football coach and everyone is just going around just giving it 90%, 80%, 70%? You can be honest. Hey, guys, I think you guys should do better. You guys are, can do better. You guys can run faster. Versus direct would mean you run in there and run as fast as you can because I know you can. Now, get the fuck in there.
One is a job. The other one is a relationship that you want to keep. Like the coach isn't going to be honest and be kind, right? Because they got a job to do.
I think honesty is when I ask you, what do you think about my hair? Then you can be honest. But I think direct, you have to kind of tell someone without them asking for it. If you love someone.
Yeah.
So you have to, like if I see you're going down the wrong path with your choices in dating,
And
then if one day I sit you down and say, listen, I think you're going down the wrong path.
Yeah.
You deserve better. Why are you going after certain people?
Yep.
That would be direct.
Yes.
But if you ask for my opinion one day, hey guys, do you think I'm doing everything okay? And I'm like, well, to be honest with you, no.
Okay. This is a great segue moment because I had a friend for many moons.
Many moons.
And she griped that she did not appreciate my opinion, technically not mine, but another person in the fold. She did not appreciate their opinion because she didn't ask for it. At which point I realized that this friend doesn't value directness. So maybe that's not a friendship worth having. Maybe, like Kevin said, some people don't want you to be direct. They want you to be kind and they want you to be honest, but only when they ask for it, only when they want it. Well, then maybe they need to have friends who are the same way as them. And maybe the direct people need to have friends who share that same value of appreciating directness. Because think about it. The person you mentioned at the beginning of the podcast, if you went to them and said, you're acting like a pompous, spoiled bitch, do you think they'd appreciate that?
Initially, no.
Yeah.
But in 5 years, when they
yes.
understand.
But you wouldn't be friends that entire 5 years. You know that, right?
Sure. Here's another thing. Let's say I have 2 kids, 2 boys.
Yes.
Let's say, I don't know, 9 and 5.
For example.
I have to be direct with them. Don't do that. What you're doing is wrong. Right? If you don't study, you're going to end up homeless. Okay? If I'm honest with them, every once in a while, if you sit them down, hey guys, if you want my honest opinion, this is what could happen.
Right.
One will have an effect One will have, okay, great. Thank you for your opinion.
Well, every relationship is different, though.
Yes.
You can't be the coach and player relationship is different. Dad and kid relationship is different. Friend relationship is different. So you can't put them all in the same category and say this is a rule for every relationship. Right?
I think there's two different things though. If you look at the whole big picture, you have to be honest and you have to be direct, right? I don't think one should replace the other one. Now, if you see someone that's going down the wrong path, you should be direct. If you care about them, if she's doing something wrong at work, let's say she's like, creating porn videos, we're like, hey, it would be nice if you didn't create porn videos. We just create YouTube videos.
Mm-hmm.
Versus saying,
thanks for using that true story, by the way.
right. Versus saying, stop doing that. That's not good for our business. Do this. We need to be direct. Just like there's a difference between honesty and directness. You got to be honest in your while you're being direct, right?
May I?
Yes.
If your theory is correct,
It is correct.
then anybody we meet or anybody we're with, we're gonna be like, "Hey,
That you love.
your
you
mouth
care about.
stinks. You better do something about that." Versus, "Honey, is there something going on here in your oral health? Maybe we should address." You can address it in a different way, but
Those
direct.
were both direct examples.
They're
though.
both direct, but one is from a, "Hey, kids, you're never gonna get into college," versus, "Kids, did you know?"
I think the way you change your voice and tone, gives one a bad rap. You can be direct in a kind and loving way too.
Yes.
Right? And you can
Yes.
also be honest. I think honesty is the foundation of being direct.
Well, every example you gave was, "Hey, Amanda, stop doing porn. Hey, kids, you're going to fail college. Hey, football players, go, make a touchdown." Let me hear an example
If
of
you
your
see-
kind direct.
Look, can I say?
Yeah, please.
If, for example, you went to a friend and you said, even though the conversation didn't come up directly, there was an opportunity to discuss it further. So you say, "Hey, friend, I just want you to know that from my observations, it seems like your self-care levels have gone down in the time that you've been in relationship with this person."
Okay, good. Now, the way you said it, it seems like...
My observation is.
Okay, my observation is it seems like, that is being too kind.
But nobody
But that's
died.
direct.
But nobody
It's not
died.
direct.
Nobody
It is
died.
direct.
Excuse me. Excuse
not
me.
Sorry.
Nobody died and told you, "Go unleash on me. I need to hear it." Nobody asked you for that. If you want to be direct, you have to find a pathway where they don't resist.
All right.
And
And
nevertheless,
listen.
this person dumped my ass as a friend anyway.
Can I say something?
Yes.
Go ahead.
Okay, I think people who don't have balls, okay, and they love someone. They love someone, they don't have balls.
Yeah.
Love, balls.
It's a tough
balls
tough combo.
Okay. Then they would say, in my opinion, I think I've seen this, maybe this, correct me if I'm wrong, right? Why do you have those filler words?
Yeah.
Direct means get rid of those filler words and just say what's on your mind without, in my opinion, now it seemed like that. No.
Yeah. That's the approach that someone who I respect dearly always takes, for better or for worse, which is that it's my opinion by default, so I'm not going to state that it's my opinion. I'm just going to tell you like it is.
But there's certain things that are, let's say it's not subjective. Like if you're doing lines of coke at work, it's not good for your health. It's not good for your career, right? I say, in my opinion, I mean, just, shooting off the hips right now, nothing, I think if you may do that, I don't know, maybe it's not good for, like, why? Doing lines of coke is not good for you. Either stop it
Unless
or
you're in finance, bro. The truth is anything that ever comes out of your mouth is going to be your opinion. It's always your subjective
So you
opinion.
think doing lines of coke is okay?
If you're in finance, that's how most of those stockbrokers
Okay,
function
let's go of
in a
that.
day.
No, but let's say
I'm giving you the facts.
let's say you're having McDonald's every day, breakfast, noon, and night, right? And I say, in my opinion, you
Some
may.
people's metabolism could work with that. I'm just telling you, my objective truth is that your subjective truth is objectively wrong. There's a time to acknowledge that no matter what you say is coming from Artie, no matter what I say is coming from Amanda, no matter what Kevin says is coming from
in your
Kevin.
opinion, that's
No.
also subjective opinion.
That's a fact,
No,
actually.
it's not. Just putting a fact in front of it.
No. So what
I
you
mean,
say,
you're right.
what Artie said isn't Artie's opinion?
Now, what she says, this is how it should be. I say that's also subjective.
You're right.
The same way you think my directness is subjective.
You're correct.
To my,
I don't disagree with you.
So we have to, I think the more you care about someone's well-being, the less you have to care about that relationship.
Yes, actually.
Right.
Because I think if you care too much about the relationship, you're being selfish then.
Yeah.
You're like, I'll just keep my mouth shut and watch you continue to destroy yourself. But as long as we're still friends, that's all that matters. But that's a difference in opinion between, say, a Kevin. Maybe Kevin thinks differently. I don't know. We're going to find out right now. My point is, what I've learned recently is that not everyone values directness. They don't see direct as respect. They see it as an insult.
If I see
you're not doing it for them.
I'm not doing it for their saving their feelings. If I see, let's say, mom is driving erratically on the freeway, I'm gonna say, "Hey, mom, stop driving like that." I can't say, in my opinion. Now you may disagree with me. You're driving like a maniac. If I love her and I don't want her to get into a car crash and die, in what way do I have to be, indirect? Why can't I just be direct?
Your examples are very life and death. Yes, in that case, of course. But if you have a friend, excuse me.
You're right.
If you have a friend that's going out with the wrong man, okay, and you see that, you can't just say, "Hey, you're going out with the wrong man, you idiot. Fucking break it off today."
You can't.
If they ask you for your opinion, say, "I'll be blunt." Blah 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 blah.
Yeah, but if they don't ask you for,
if they don't ask and you want to approach them, you have to find a way where they're open to receiving.
I agree.
You can't just say, "This is whether you like it or not. I don't give a shit."
Yeah, because otherwise you're knowingly executing the relationship. And if that's what you intended to do, just do it. Say, "I don't want to be friends with you anymore."
You don't have to be soft about it either. You don't have to say, "In my opinion, if you ever want to, if you know."
Yeah.
You can be direct. Yeah. Say, "Honey, this is what I've noticed. A, B, C, and D."
You just said you got to be direct.
I know.
No, I said no. There's ways of being direct. Not like, "Hey, asshole, break it off now because I said so."
No.
You have to say, "These are things I've seen that you're doing wrong. In my humble opinion, you should stop that.
Yeah.
You deserve better."
Yeah.
And leave it at that.
That's beautiful. Know your audience when being direct.
100%.
That's my new learning lesson here.
Mine too.
If you think so.
And Artie prides himself on his directness, which I love. Again, I know a very select small group of people who are as direct as you. And I admire it because I appreciate that. I'm just telling you that not everyone in the world, my subjective opinion is that not everyone in the world is going to appreciate that. Some will tell you to go shove your head somewhere.
Before my marriage ended, I was very, you can't talk to me a certain way. I don't respect you the way you said that.
Who said that?
People, let's say a friend would say, or even Nona, my ex-wife, would say, "Hey, change the way you're doing certain things."
Oh, and you said to them,
and I said, "Oh my God, I'm offended. Why'd you say it like that?" And then you see the pattern continuing. Mm-hmm. Me still being a certain way, me still eating poorly, me still, showing up, in a way that's not appropriate. For example, I didn't show up that way. But let's say someone has a pattern of that and you love them. And you've told them a few times, "Hey, listen, you're not doing this correctly. Please eat better. Please eat better. Please." And then you have your first heart attack and you're still going to McDonald's. At which point are you going to say, "I'm going to put my love for this person"? Because it has to be a kind of love that transcends everything else. If I love my wife or my friend or my mom, I'm going to have to be honest with them at one point. Because if I see the pattern continuing and continuing, then I have to break that pattern. Do you think I'm going to break a pattern by saying, "In my humble opinion, you should stop eating McDonald's even after you have 5 heart attacks"? Yeah. Or should I say, "Sit down, stop having this shit, it's bad for you"?
Yeah.
Again, your example is very extreme. Yes, in those extreme situations where mom is about to crash, you've had 5 heart attacks. Yes, say, "What the fuck are you thinking, you moron?"
I'm not talking about this red, thing looks bad around you. You look like a homeless. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about if you really care about someone and you see these behavioral patterns happening over and over again and they don't listen and they're going down the wrong path.
I got that.
You got to interrupt their
Maybe the level
pattern.
of intensity is also a matter of opinion. Maybe some people don't see endless McDonald's consumption as a matter of life or death until the heart attack happens or until they've had multiple heart attacks. Maybe, again, it's a compatibility issue. If someone doesn't appreciate your directness, maybe they're not going to like it if you're kind, and they're not going to like it if you're direct. They're not going to like it either way. In my example, I used the kind approach, and the other person involved in the circumstance used the direct with balls approach, and it wasn't appreciated on either side. It was like, how about you both go and fuck yourselves? And then they dropped off the map. 15 years of friendship.
Wow, that's very specific.
Yeah. They're not going to watch, so it's not a problem. But
he or she?
They, them.
Yeah.
But the thing is, you see what the point I'm making is, if the person doesn't have the same value, where they don't care about your honesty or directness, that's not what they want in friendship. It doesn't matter if you package it up with a nice soft bow or you're direct as a laser bolt. They just don't want to hear it. They want friends who, like the person used at the beginning of this example, just support their lifestyle and say, go you. Whatever you do, I support it. I don't care if you jump off the cliff. I'll be right behind you. Like, I'm here. That's what they value. So maybe we're incompatible. Maybe it's important to know your values in friendship, because if you find out that a time comes when they're about to have a heart attack or drive off the road or whatever it is they're doing, and you want to say something, they don't want to hear it, then why are you guys friends with each other?
Sure. I'll give my 2 cents.
Please.
And then I'll go quiet.
No.
Why not? It's good to say something profound and then go quiet.
That's true.
If you care, there's 2 ways you can go. If you care.
Yeah.
Don't do it, you fucking moron. Or hey, this is what I've noticed. Depending on who you are and how you interact with people, you can choose whichever direction you want to go. It's up to you. Neither one is wrong, as long as you're being direct and you're not enabling, right? Mm-hmm. It doesn't matter if you yell at them or you say it in a kind way.
Who said I'm yelling though?
Did I just mention your name?
No, you're putting directness as yelling and, putting someone down.
I believe
that as a negative thing.
No. But I'm saying you don't have to be harsh about it.
Again, harsh, negative, strong, whatever. You put all those in the direct silo, and it's not. I could be the kindest person. Last time I was talking to a friend of mine and was talking about his repeated issues with women. Over the past 20 years, I meet this kind of woman, this is what happens, I get sad. I go find the same exact woman, And he was just going on and on and on and on. And I had to stop him in a kind way. I said, listen, Bob, just making it up. Listen, Bob, you need to go see therapy. You have certain traumas. This is how you're showing up. There must be something wrong with what's inside of you. And he said, I really appreciate that. I really appreciate because you were direct. Any other friend would listen to him and say, yeah, you know what, that fucking bitch. Oh, women be crazy. Yeah. And if I would have come from him, honestly, maybe, I don't know. Maybe.
No. You're confusing. I said direct is the key word, the root of how.
So direct is good.
Direct. Be direct. Not saying, oh, maybe, I don't know. I was just thinking. Direct. Be direct. But your tone matters too.
You said, in my humble opinion. She said, oh, I've maybe. You guys both are contradicting the whole thing. You have to have honesty in your directness. I think you can't have just honesty and not be direct, or direct with not honesty. They have to go together. Yeah. So whether you
can be direct, you can be honest without being
but your honesty
abrasive
has to be,
person.
Now you're adding abrasion
yes.
as part of the equation.
I said you don't. I said no.
And no one
do not
said
be.
that.
Do not. No, I didn't. No. Stop thinking. I'm talking about you. This is for everybody. The world. Be honest. Be direct, but don't be abrasive. Because the second it comes out as "row,"
yep.
Everybody's walls goes up. Says, fuck you, dude. You lost me at your yelling.
Yes.
Yeah. So that wasn't part of being direct. I know you didn't say that, but that's not part of being direct. Direct is having a adult conversation, and without any fluff words that you guys like to use, we just tell the person what we see wrong with their situation. Now, whether or not it's asked for or not, I don't care. Mm-hmm. If they're close enough with me, I will tell them. The same way I ask, how are you doing? Good, thanks. How are you doing? If I see you're doing something as a friend, I'm going to tell you.
And to me, I value that as a friend. Mm-hmm. But is it fair to say there are people in this world who don't want friends like that?
Yeah, absolutely. Of course. I don't want friends like that.
You don't want friends who will be direct with you?
No, I don't want friends who are gonna get frazzled and say, "Don't talk to me like that."
I'm saying that there are people who only want safe, comfortable people around them who just
Enablers.
yes, like yes men and yes women.
Yeah. I heard somewhere. I think it was one of the people I'm talking to, not women, guys who are
like,
asking for my advice about their marriages.
Thank you for the clarification.
Yeah, he's popular.
I'm talking to a bunch of men who are going through divorces or breakups, and one of them said something that's profound, but I've heard that before. So credit has to go to the original person.
Yes.
But he said there's a difference between transparency and the truth, right? If I can be truthful, for example, if you ask me, hey, where were you last night? Oh, I went to the club with the girls, for example, right? That's truth. Transparency is like, hey, by the way, last night I went to the club with the girls, right? Both of them end up with a truth at one point, but one of them is like volunteering information. One of them is just answering it correctly when you're being asked.
Yeah.
With truth and with being direct, or with being, my humble opinion, those words, if I care about someone, or if I care about my business, or if I care about anything, I'm going to have to be honest, but I have to be direct. Those fluff words do not belong in the context of me trying to help someone.
Okay, let's say you're trying to warn me off of the person I'm dating right now. Can you each give an example of how you would approach me?
You go first.
Amanda, I saw this guy living in a tent.
Oh, he's a homeless one.
Yeah, for example. I'm just making up a character.
Sure.
You guys don't mesh. You really deserve better than that. Step back, look in the mirror. You're this, you're that, you're this, you're that. He's none of those. So, you know what? If you want to have 2 minutes of fun, good for you, but really dump him and move on. Find somebody better.
Nice. That was empowering. Thank you.
Was it?
Yeah.
What the fuck are you thinking?
That's where he's getting words like abrasive.
No, I'm kidding. I'm joking.
I know.
I'd say, Amanda, are you serious? You're dating a homeless guy?
There it is again.
You need to look in the mirror. You're a wonderful woman. Why are you going after these people? And I would leave it at that. You have to have, if he says have your 2 minutes of fun, and then break off with him. Why are you being so kind and supportive? That in a way is supportive.
Well, I think that's just a personality difference between you two now.
What about
it was the same message.
Now let me ask you guys a question.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait, which one did you?
I liked yours better.
Why?
Because it felt like you genuinely cared about me more. Yeah.
Okay. So let's say you're standing on a bridge. You want to jump down.
There
Now
he
extreme.
goes again with
Extreme.
the yeah, it doesn't always have
You
to
want to
be
jump
that.
down. He says, you know what? The water's kind of cold. Besides, you may die. I say,
Jump
stop
off
the fuck, come down.
Jump off the bridge. Heart attack.
Yeah.
Kids
Driving.
never making it to college.
Yeah.
Driving
Drive
off the freeway.
road. Yeah. Okay, so your personality is just an intense one. That's what we're deducing.
You can call it that. That's your subjective opinion.
I agree. It is my
That's your
subjective. And I own that that's my subjective opinion.
Let's say you're at a workplace and you have a guy here who is not performing well, who's just wasting company time, company money, company whatever. And he just comes in, stays here for a few hours, jumps in his laptop, and then leaves, right? At which point are you going to say as a boss, hey, Jeff, why did you... What are you guys laughing for?
Because Stu, our producer, is making
Your faces.
Stop it, Stu.
Okay, I can see it in the mirror's reflection.
Man, Stu.
Such a
But
Stu.
anyway, you have to tell him, listen, it's not going to work out like this. You either start working, producing, or you have to leave, unfortunately.
Okay, that was not abrasive. That was exact. That was direct and
Yeah,
polite.
that was beautiful. And you even said the word unfortunately at the end.
But would you guys say, in my humble opinion, or...
Never.
I'm not saying it's always going to be like that, bro.
Know your audience, right?
Yes, know your audience.
Yeah.
It's not always going to be a, it seems like, or in my observation or in my personal opinion, depending on the severity of the issue, so will the severity of the directness be dialed up.
The bottom line is we will be direct.
Yes.
We will tell like it is. We
Be
say
honest.
But with
we
kindness.
are honest.
Oh, with kindness now. Now
If-
that's the magic formula.
If
I
I'm
think
talking
so.
if I'm talking to my mother, it'll be very kind. I don't want to break her. before she builds herself up. I want to give it to her easy, but I'm going to be very honest with her.
Yeah.
But if I talk to Jeff, you said? Jeff is coming here with his laptop, wasting company time and money.
Yeah.
I said, dude, after the third time that I kind of like, hey, dude, are you doing something? The fourth time is going to be, you know what? Dude, I don't think it's going to work. Go. Adios.
Yeah. Sayonara. What do you make of
that?
that?
Are you too done?
Yeah.
With
Let's
BS,
hear the objective,
with the BS,
biblical perspective.
Objective, biblical perspective.
Yeah.
The reason I have a handful of friends and not more is because they either find me too honest
or too attractive.
Or too attractive.
Or too attractive, or I may not fit the mold of like empowering bad behavior, right? A group of people that I was friends with, and I don't think I am no longer friends with them, is because they want to empower their own bad behaviors. And if someone comes in there with an honesty and directness that says this behavior will not get you guys where you want to be, they throw me out of their system, the whole thing, because I'm no longer
compatible
empowering them.
Yeah.
So the reason I have a small group of people is because I love them unconditionally. They could break up with me. They could say, I don't want to see you for 2 years. My mom could start serving me dinner without saying a word to me. But I think unconditional love for me means you love them beyond what they provide for you.
Yeah.
And if that relationship is going to break because of me being honest and direct with them about certain things that are not good for them, I'm willing to risk that. But I love them more than I love that relationship. So in case you're doing something wrong, my mom's doing something wrong, he's doing something wrong, whoever's doing something wrong, I know it's going to be detrimental to their growth, detrimental to their relationship, detrimental to their health. I'm going to be direct and honest, not fluff it up with words. And sometimes you have to break someone, the shell, you have to break it up before you can rebuild them better and stronger. That's how they forge iron and all those things, because you have to break it and restructure it, break it, restructure it. And sometimes directness is what people need.
That's the medicine, whether they like it or not.
Yeah. So I can see this whole crowd is now behind me on this.
Well,
I'm just surprised that mom still serves you food when she comes and tells me from the kitchen, come get your food, it's ready.
Oh.
Last
night when
I went to her house, she brought me food. She brought me lettuce. She brought me dessert. Wow. She brought me everything.
She sets it down for you?
Yeah, I said, Mom, don't do that.
And she doesn't set it down for you, Kevin?
No.
And you're the one who has nicer conversations with
Absolutely.
her. Oh, shit.
Directness.
She says the food's ready. Come get your own plate.
See, I've realized in relationships, if I'm too direct and a little bit bossy, they like me more.
Maybe she's scared of you.
Yeah, maybe.
No, they value directness and a little bit of bossiness versus beta-ness and like, oh, please, it's okay in my humble opinion. If you don't slap me tonight, I'll be happy.
Can I give you an example of a conversation that I had with my mother?
Yes.
Is this real life example?
100%.
All right, let's hear it.
But I cannot give you the exact topic because it is sensitive. But I'll just tell you,
sensitive?
It is sensitive of a topic. The conversation I had with my mom.
What's it about?
Just let me finish. Right. Hey, Mom. X, Y, and Z. Mom said, thank you so much for saying it to me like that. Your brother had the same conversation with me, but the way he just says, you have to do this, you're wrong, you did this, you did that. I just go into my own shell. I turn off the ears and I just look at him until he's done speaking. He said, the way that you approach me, you told me the truth the way it is. You know what? 100%. I'm going to change my perspective on things. You're right. I'm not just saying this to tell you guys wow, look, I won. She literally told me the way your brother gave it to me, it was direct and I didn't like that because I felt disrespected. I feel like he insulted my intelligence. He doesn't know where I'm coming from. He didn't take the time to listen to me correctly before he just jumped and said, no, you got to do this and that. She even said what he said made sense. He's right. But yeah, you know what? The way you said it, you're right. I'll do it. It just goes, delivery matters.
Yeah.
Be honest, but you have to know your audience. I'm not going to break my mom, mold her again, break like a steel. That's my mother.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell her kindly, but I'm going to be very truthful with her. Like the way you're taking care of your health sucks. The way you keep thinking about my dad and he's an evil person from 35 years ago of divorce, it's hurting you, not me, not him. He's actually has many girlfriends. He's really happy, really happy. And I told her, you know what? Listen to me. I'm telling you how it is. You may not like it. She said, I appreciate you saying it that way. I'll listen.
So the ego gets bruised because the delivery sucks.
I don't want to hurt my mother. I will hurt like somebody that I barely know, like maybe a group of friends that I'm not that close with them. I'm ready to do the steal, break, unbreak, break, whatever you said. I'm willing to do that because if I lose them, so be it. But I can't lose my mother.
Yeah. That's just me, I guess. I have to be direct.
Yeah. That's your personality.
For example, I have my mom like keeps slouching, right? Is this what you're talking about? Because
Bunch
I
of
want
things.
The audience
A few
to,
things. It was health. It was how she handles relationship breakups. Is how she handles the ex-husband. All those things.
All right. So these things have been going on for, so the audience knows, these things have been going on for at least 10 years or more. A lot of these things are 10 years, 20 years, 30 years of suffering.
Some of them are recent too. Like the stuff that she was telling me she's not happy with.
Well, I can't speak to that because you're being very elusive with the topic.
Because I don't want people who listen to this to understand what I'm saying.
That's why I can't speak to that. You understand that, right? When you say XYZ, this is what it is. When I see her, for example, slouching for the past 10 years, and I tell her, this is why you have high blood pressure, because being around chiropractors, we know certain things that medical science doesn't tell them. I know certain ways that she's carrying herself. It's not good for her confidence, right? So I've told her these for the past 10 years. Mom, stand up straight. If you need help, let's go see a chiropractor. Let's get you this, let's do that. And she says, oh, I forget. So after a while, but she doesn't forget taking care of other people. She doesn't forget putting food in front of Kayla. She doesn't forget doing this, doing that. Last night, as a matter of fact, when I saw her, I was upset at her. I said, Mom, she was toasting bread for herself. She said, do you want a piece of bread? I said, yes. She took her toast out, put it on the counter, put my bread in. I said, I know you love me and this is what you did. I think it's too much, right? I want you to respect and love yourself the same way you respect and love other people. If your toast is halfway being toasted and you just yank it out for mine, what kind of precedence is that setting for you and your, importance in your own life? So when I see her for 10 years, she's not taking care of herself. She just says, oh yeah, I forgot. But yet she goes to school and picks up Kayla on time. Yet she makes her a salad, a meal, everything. That's why I get angry. That's why I have to be direct. Mom, take care of yourself. How many more years do you have left? Because I know what her pain point is. Mm-hmm. And if I know her pain point, let's say living longer, I'll address that. So I have to find the pain point. But being honest and kind and, delivering it in a way that doesn't jolt her out of her, comfort zone, it's not going to make a change.
Yeah.
I've told her for 10 years, stand up straight. Let's go find a physical therapist, a chiropractor, whatever we need to do. And to this day, she's like, right? So you said the word angry twice. You get angry because it's not done your way? The way that you expect? No, I don't. No. I get angry because I get angry for her. Someone taking the toast out of the toaster to accommodate my needs, I get angry. It wasn't because I told her to do things a certain way. I want her to put herself first. I want her to put herself first, to think about her posture, to go get help. Because how many times have you told her in the past year, Mom, sit up straight. Mom, stand up straight. Mom, lay down on the floor. Mom, and she doesn't do it.
So to your point of the friend that you may have lost, she said it once, and that's it. Maybe you remind them because you love them more, but if you have an expectation every time she does the same thing and you get angry at her because she's not doing it, I think at some point I'd just give up. So you know what? I've told you many times, instead of getting angry at somebody, I said, you know what?
You'd rather preserve that relationship.
It's my mother, yes.
I know. But you'd rather preserve that lovey-dovey relationship versus having the tough conversations.
It's still a tough conversation I've had with her. And she said, I appreciate the way you put it. I'll do it. But when she said that, you get angry at her, whereas I say, can I talk to you? This is really important because I love you. I want you to be around for my child. I want you to go on vacation and enjoy life. But these are the things you're doing wrong. And we've brought it up a bunch of times, so you need to really be, put it on the calendar, do it. Every time remind yourself, walk in front of the mirror, look at your posture. Don't just look straight, look at the posture. Remind you to stand up straight. She says, thank you so much for putting it that way, because your brother keeps getting angry at me.
Has she changed though?
And then I have to close my ears, and because I don't want to.
Has she changed though? Do you see her better posture?
When I go there, she's wearing her little brace, and she said, look, I'm doing it. And now I feel like me and my mom, we have a different kind of like a inside, I'm doing it, because of the conversation we had.
Right. So it brings you guys closer versus pushing you guys apart.
Right. And I get his point 100%. I'm mad too but I can't show it. I get frustrated like, God, here we go again, putting yourself last place where you should be first. I see it too, but I don't show anger. I sit down with her, I talk to her in a way that she doesn't close her ears and she hears me.
At what point, because I know with your mother it's impossible. You can't just, that's not true for everyone, but I think in this situation, you're not just going to cut her off and be like, you know what, you refuse to take care of yourself and fix your posture. I don't want to know you anymore. That's intense for a mother relationship.
Did I do that though? Is that
Never. No. I was going to say, at what point do you decide that you don't want to know the person anymore?
It's not knowing the person. I think if my mom, her posture issues, for example, if she doesn't like to listen to me, then I don't want her to have her complain. Because if she complains about the same things over and over again, oh, my back hurts, my neck hurts, I can't sleep at nights. Well, it's because of your bad posture. And then I tell her what you do, and she repeats the same things and then complains about the same things. And these friends in the same friend group or guys that I'm talking to, these patterns repeat and they complain about it. They complain. I give them a solution. They ask for it. Okay. But then they go back in their old ways. That's what gets me angry.
Right.
I don't get angry like my way or no way. Either stop complaining or listen to the advice. Yep. You can't be complaining and then say, okay, now give it to in a better way because I wasn't receptive to it.
Well, when do you give up though? When do you give up with not with your mom? That's never going to happen.
No, a lot of people I've lost touch with because I gave up. I gave up because if you ask for advice and I'm being direct with you and you say, you're right, I'm going to start doing something about it. But then 2 weeks later, she's still complaining about it.
Right.
I don't want to be around that.
And what if they never complain? What if it's a situation where it's just a one-time thing?
Great.
And then you just let it
Great.
fizzle?
If they complain about it, they ask for my advice and don't do anything about it, I say, okay, great.
Yeah.
That's your life. Live it the way you want to. It doesn't have to be my way.
But they didn't ask for your advice. This is a situation where you see them headed off the cliff and you pull them aside and say, you're going to go off the cliff if you keep going. And they say, why don't you go and F yourself? At that point, you just say, okay, off you go.
But next time, don't complain to me about the same thing.
Well, or there never will be a next time, maybe.
Yeah, that's fine.
That's okay.
That's fine.
Yeah, that's tough. That's difficult.
Your pull off the cliff.
Yeah, it's an extreme example.
No, it's still good. It's fine.
It's good if you say it.
Oh,
No, it's not because
I say
it's
it.
the way I say
because I still have something about the cliff thing.
Yeah, tell me.
It's not general stuff. Again, it goes back to knowing your audience, and this is my cherry on top, and then I'm going to be done because I think we kicked and mutilated this horse behind the barn enough.
We did.
Know your audience. I only have one mother, so I'll make sure, even though he's right, don't complain if you're not going to take the advice. I have one mother, though. I'm going to make sure I sugarcoat some of the things if I have to so that she listens and doesn't close her ears. So if she's walking off the cliff, I'll tell her 50 times, no, pull her back, no, no, no. But if it's a friend, after once or twice, I'm like, go fuck yourself. Yeah. Go toss yourself down.
Yeah. You?
I've learned so much here today.
Really?
Yes. I've learned that as a value, I respect directness. I want it in my friendships, but maybe not everybody does. And the only way to find out is to take the shot and be direct, but know your audience. Be loving when you can be loving. Be firm and assertive when it calls for it. And then let the chips fall where they may. And if you lose them, and like me, you value directness, it's still going to hurt, speaking from experience, but at least you know that the people who are surrounding you have the same values. They want friends who tell them like that.
Right.
But if they do take it and then they do change, that's even better. I have yet to see that happen, but I remain optimistic.
Okay. I think if you just last one, based off one thing you said, I think if you sugarcoat something to someone that you love, you just sugarcoating it for your own benefit and their benefit, more your benefit, because you want to give them this cookie that has sugar on it. And here you go, take this. You know, it doesn't look scary. It's okay. Maybe you'll smile at it. You're like, oh, thank you for giving me this sugar-coated cookie. But I'm not going to take a bite because inside is going to be bitter and truthful and I may resent you. Yes, I understand maybe changing my tone with my mom, but I can't change the message. I can't change the directness of it.
Oh, and that's what I meant by sugarcoat. I meant say it in a polite, respectful way that she will accept.
Yeah. I think sometimes when I do get angry is because I've seen the pattern continue over and over again, and I still get the same complaints that I can no longer, like, with a smile on my face, oh, you know, my humble opinion, stop slouching, right? At one point, I'm going to feel disrespected as a person who's giving advice and cares about her because she's not caring about herself as much, and I feel like I'm caring about them more.
Yeah.
So if I care about someone to an extent that they may get offended, their ego may get hurt, so be it.
Yeah. You can only love someone as much as they love themselves.
Yeah.
And I know that when you have friends and you love people, you want them to love themselves more so that they can feel all of the love that you want to give to them. But if they cap it and they're like, nope, I won't take care of myself. I won't do this. I won't do that. It's like, oh, well, then how can I love you then? You've just limited how much I'm able to love you. That's tough.
So what's the direct or respect portion of this?
I think direct is respect.
Yeah.
That's the final. And it's and maybe at some point you have to decide, am I saying this because I respect you? Or do I have to say this truth because I respect myself and I have to be honest? Maybe that's the ultimate decision.
Triple Shot Mindset.